Hey, what's up, guys? It's another Lessons with Luke. And you know what? I'm looking at my portfolios and I'm seeing some stocks bounce, some are going down. I'm trying to figure out what is going to be the lesson for today. And I had this visual as I'm walking over to work into the new workplace, by the way. And I started thinking, you know what? Sometimes stocks go up, sometimes they cool down. It's almost like a basketball team. You've got your all-star players, they're just playing well. But then sometimes they don't have the hot hand anymore. And so they just need to take a break. So what you do is you take that player, you sit them on the bench for a little bit, let them recoup, right? That's kind of like a stock that's not really doing much. And then you have all these other stocks that start to get the juice and they start to go higher. So the message of today, and we're going to go over three stocks that fit this profile very well, is like, great companies can be great even if their stock isn't breaking out day after day. Sometimes they are forming a base, kind of like just taking a break, like a basketball player would be, like an all-star player. They got to breathe, they got to come out of the game for a little bit, but you've got to hang in there when these are great companies. So let's go ahead and get into three that are on my mind that are breaking out right now. And these were such bench warmer stocks. And the first one I want to showcase is Netflix. And now look, I've been owning this thing for years, but look at this. For the longest time, Wall Street was not excited about the growth prospects of Netflix, right? They were worried about Disney. They were worried about all these other streaming services. And in fact, the stock just floundered. But if you go back for 5 years, we know that this is a big uptrend. And every now and then they plateau. I kind of saw this as like an all-star company that's just kind of chilling, right? It's sitting the bench. But what ends up happening with great companies? They end up getting the call. They get back on, they get back on the team. They get back out there. They're playing a little bit. They're on the court doing the dance, the whole thing. Netflix is just one of those great companies where I don't think it's one that you trade. I think it's one that you hold. And look, there's a bunch of stocks right now that are just sitting and chopping wood, but the great ones, don't give up on those. What else was chopping wood for a little bit? Well, it was none other than Tesla. Look, I've owned this one for, God knows, many years. But look at this. Look, it didn't do anything for years, right? And then all of a sudden it got the call and then it kind of chilled out for a little bit. Then it gets the call, then it chills out for a very long time. And then it gets the big money love again, right? And that is what these stocks do. Another one just happened. This was one of my favorites for years. And the same pattern happens all the time with these great companies. This is the Trade Desk, TTD. Phenomenal company. Like you go back on a 5-year week, dude, I was talking about this thing at like $10, $15 split adjusted, something like that. But look, it had the ramp and then it just went back and forth. And it was like, people were giving up. I remember people were calling and saying, man, should I give up on this stock? Is it going to come back? And the thing is that they keep growing. They keep getting better. And I just see these companies, like great ones like that, they're growing their sales, they're growing their revenue. Sometimes they just got to take a breath. They got to take a breather, like LeBron, he's not draining them, all day. Okay, maybe he is, but you know what? Sometimes you got to just catch a break. And so often people are looking for companies that are going up today and trying to hop in on the bandwagon, and they don't really think about what's coming next. And what's coming next is sometimes these stocks have to cool down. Sometimes they got to go back to the bench. They got to recoup and all of that. And this is why I think it's very important to have a diversified portfolio, and not just diversified because of like sectors or whatever, but just different names. Because if you've got great stocks, some of them are going to do well in the reopen. Some are going to do well, stay at home. Some are going to do well, but that is the key. Do well, right? Great companies, they tend to do well. You just want to have a bunch of these players on your team because you never know which ones are going to be taking the lead, which ones are going to do well in the third quarter, second quarter, first half, second half, excuse me, getting my sports mixed up, but you get what I'm trying to say. And that's all that this lesson is really about, is just hanging in there and realizing when you've got a great company like an Apple or an Amazon, sometimes nothing's going on. And you know what? That means you shouldn't be doing anything. You just need to be sitting on your hands. You need to be chilling and just waiting for that big money to come push the stock even higher, because the great ones, that is what they're going to be doing. And that's what I am trying to do. I'm trying to find the great ones in the Big Money Report. That is my newsletter. You go check it out, bigmoneyreport.com. This is where I use all of that stuff that I learned on Wall Street, following the big money, looking for some of these companies very similar to what I'm talking about here with Netflix, Tesla, TTD. They're not going up every single day. But you know what? They are going up year after year. And that is how you win with investing. You're not looking day by day. In fact, you're not even looking month by month. You really need to be looking year by year to see the seeds of greatness, to see how your team is playing out. And that is it. That is my message. We're going into the holidays. You guys stay bullish, think long term, and always remember, respect the big money. I'll see you next time.